Beautiful morning in Japan. Mei is busy playing hide and seek with her friends. Her mother Asiai checks everything before leaving for the market: knife, safety switch, even the bathtub lid. Time is scarce. She rushes through the stores, eager to return before the children scatter. But Mei is nowhere to be found. Questions to neighbors lead to nothing. No one saw her after the game ended. Calls in social media groups bring no answers. Panic creeps in. The police are called. Hiko, Asiai's husband, rushes home stunned. Mei never leaves without telling anyone. The search operation begins. Anxiety tightens its grip. Hiko notices Mei's shoes still inside the house. A chilling thought strikes. Asiai tries to calm herself with a drink. A careless slip and she leaves the glass, heading to the washing machine. The machine starts and then a scream cuts through the air. Inside, Mei suffocated during the hide-and-seek game. She died trapped. A year passes. Asiai cannot escape the shadow of grief. She avoids even the washing machine. She blames herself. Hiku insists on therapy sessions, but progress is slow. The house mirrors her mind, messy, chaotic, like a neglected dustbin. Then one day, Hiku's mother, Toshiko, notices Asiai's condition. She gives her the address of a temple where offerings are burned in rituals, hoping it can ease Asiai's sorrow. Asiai hesitates, then agrees. The next day on the balcony, she clutches the ritual plate, lost in thought. A gust of wind snatches it, tossing it onto the road. She chases, desperate, the wind almost mocking her. Finally, she retrieves it. Among the antique human-sized dolls, her eyes fix on one. It resembles Mei. Something about it tugs at her heart. Back home, Asiai is lighter, almost cheerful. She sits to eat only to freeze. On the table, Mei's dress has been draped over the doll. Asiai, in a moment of painful nostalgia, spent a fortune bringing it home. Hiku is shocked. She treats the doll like a child, feeding it, dressing it, even arranging a place for it in Mei's old room. The obsession grows. The doll becomes the center of her world. Therapy sessions start to show progress. The doctor smiles. Asiai's attachment is no longer unhealthy. This is doll therapy, a method proven to help emotional recovery and even dementia through realism. Hiku becomes the perfect partner, supporting Asiai at the market, on walks, always carrying the doll as if it were their own child. The doll replaces Mei's place on the wall. A new washing machine hums in the background. Months pass. Asiai announces she's pregnant. Naomi enters their lives, bringing light back to the house. Gradually, the doll is pushed aside, placed among others in a corner. Naomi's photo takes its place on the wall. One evening, Naomi cries inconsolably. Asiai places the doll beside her, and after some time the tears stop. Toshiko watches through the baby monitor, relieved. Suddenly, the doll's hair tangles around Naomi's neck. A dangerous accident narrowly avoided. That night, Hiku examines the box, deciphering the Japanese inscriptions, and decides the doll must be stored safely. 5 years pass. Naomi grows, goes to school, and one day a marble rolls into the storage room. Curiosity brings her inside, where an eerie sound awaits. She finds the doll. Memories storm back. Asiai notices strange growth in the doll's hair and nails. Hiku discovers that old Japanese dolls often use real human hair, but that doesn't explain the nails. Days go by. Naomi talks to the doll, dresses it, even sleeps beside it out of jealousy. Asiai watches silently, soothing her daughter to sleep while keeping a wary eye. A conflict erupts with Naomi's friend Rena, who doesn't believe the doll talks. Meanwhile, Asiai notices signs of harm on Rena's hands, seemingly caused by the doll. Apologies are exchanged. Calm returns until Naomi destroys her sister's photos in anger, mask on. Asiai lifts the mask and the doll's presence becomes undeniable. School calls. Naomi's teacher worries about her drawings. They are guided by an invisible voice, the doll Aya. Asiai sits in silence, a cold dread settling in. Midnight, Naomi slips between them again, curling up like she always does. Asiai reaches to stroke her hair, then freezes. This is Naomi. How is this even possible? In the morning, she mentions it to Hiku, who shrugs it off. Maybe Naomi left the doll behind. She drops the doll wrapped in plastic among the waste and rushes to catch the school bus. By afternoon, the sound of movement draws her outside. The doll has returned on its own. Anger flares. She strikes it, shattering it, but a moment later it sits intact on the table. Asiai screams in fear. She had been hitting the doll, thinking it was Naomi. The manager appears, returning the doll. Size makes it impossible for regular disposal. Asiai waits for a larger vehicle to take it away, then finally releases it. A fire alarm blares from the main road. Rushing there, she sees a cleaner trapped in a waste machine. Miraculously, he survives. The doll, untouched, lies beside the machine. Naomi returns home, furious, clutching the doll. Later, Hiku wakes to find Asiai missing. On the baby monitor, Naomi chats with the doll, her words somehow answered. The doll speaks. Asiai's unease deepens. Rain pours outside. Naomi insists on hide and seek. Asiai reluctantly moves toward the next room and the door slams shut. At first, she suspects Naomi, but the room is empty. A shadow moves beside her. The washing machine beckons. Inside, the doll emerges, its twisted face sending a spike of terror through Asiai's chest. She recoils. Her body trembles. Naomi, fortunately, is safe at the doctor's. Hiku decides she should stay with him a few days under the guise of post-session care. Asiai reluctantly agrees after seeing marks on Naomi's back and on her own hands. Toshiko watches over Naomi, oblivious to the doll's strange power. Asai instructs that the doll must be taken to the temple for the Rin Goku ritual. Contact is made. The temple asks for a photo of the doll in its box. The burning ceremony slot is full until next month. Hiku examines the photos, intrigued by the name of the doll's creator, Kakeiji Yasumoto. Yasumoto had made the doll for his daughter Rei during the early Showa era, around 1926. The doll was so lifelike that many mistook it for Rei herself. Then the temple calls urgently. The doll is cursed, it must arrive at the ceremony tomorrow. Temple staff are sent to collect it. Hiku researches further. He finds a video on the Old Ranger YouTube channel. Locals speak of a haunted island in Niigata known for living dolls. Rei disappeared mysteriously. Her body was never found. Her father Taiko believed Rei now inhabited the doll. He died, but the curse persisted. The island itself is treacherous, accessible only 2 hours a day when the tides permit. Hiku, Asai, and Naomi attempt to reach it but see nothing. Meanwhile, Naomi stays with Toshiko. She innocently plays, unaware of the doll's history. Suddenly, the doll appears in Naomi's arms and Toshiko panics. She locks it in the storage room. Hiku promises it will go to the temple the next morning, but the monitor flickers. An old video plays on the screen. Naomi asks the doll where it lives. The doll answers, pointing to Niigata Prefecture, Kurakaba District. Asai learns that Rei can also be pronounced Aya, the same name Naomi had given the doll. Hiku takes the box that night toward Toshiko's house. Toshiko hears knocking from the storage room. The doll is gone. Naomi is missing. Panic grips her. Passerby reports seeing 2 girls walking hand in hand on a bridge. Toshiko rushes, finding Naomi perched dangerously at the edge. Before she can act, Naomi leaps. At home, Hiku finds blood smeared on Naomi's face. The doll wanders nearby unharmed. He rushes to secure the doll as the police arrive. Toshiko, injured, explains that the doll had mimicked Naomi, biting her before she fell unconscious. Police show CCTV footage. Naomi had attacked Toshiko, but it was the doll that deceived her. Bite marks match those found on Rena's hand. The next morning, temple staff arrive to collect the doll. The burning ceremony begins at 10 a.m. Every doll is placed for the ritual. Hiku watches, hoping for relief, but it is a trick. A fake doll is burned. The real living doll is too rare, too valuable. Someone steals it for profit and dies midway. The temple contacts Hiku urgently. They apologize, admitting the doll cannot be purified easily. It must be handled by a specialist. The box is broken. The doll's fate and its power remains uncertain. Kanda instructs them to wait until tomorrow. He will arrive. The phone hangs up. A nurse shifts the doll slightly and a strange noise echoes from inside. A child's tooth falls from its mouth. Suspicion rises. An X-ray reveals the impossible. Inside the doll lies a full-size human skeleton. This is not a doll, it is a real-life human figure. Police are called. The officer listens but cannot believe a word. The doll goes into custody. The morning, as the officer drives the doll to the lab, Kanda arrives. He shows a photo of the skeleton inside, urging verification. The officer dismisses it, heading to the lab, but Kanda asks for a strange favor. They follow his car, ensuring nothing goes wrong on the road. At first, everything seems normal, then a tunnel. The doll's face twists into something horrifying in the photograph. In the next moment, it vanishes from the seat. Outside, a child is caught in a car accident. Rescue attempts fail. Kanda arrives, finding the officer clutching the doll, crying. He calms him, placing the doll into a ritual-sealed box. Soji, a longtime researcher of Yasumoto's dolls, confirms the truth. It is 100% an authentic Yasumoto doll. Kanda tells Soji about the skeleton inside. Soji, initially stunned, recounts the story. Flashback, Niigata early career. He worked as a police officer. One day, a report came in: Aya, Yasumoto's daughter, missing. Aya had been sick from birth, confined indoors. Her mother Taiko once attempted to end their suffering by drowning her. Aya died. Taiko survived. To cover the crime, Taiko baked Aya's remains into clay, crafting a beautiful, famous doll. Her hair and nails preserved. Asai finally understands the truth behind Naomi's drawings all these years. Taiko's final wish, the doll buried with her daughter on Kanejima Island. But the doll disappears. Many assume supernatural activity, but the truth is simpler. Yasumoto doll sold for high prices. Thieves or antique collectors removed it from the grave. Eventually, it reaches Asai and disaster begins. Soji has hunted this doll his entire life. He never expected it to appear here. He refuses to keep it. Kanda decides the doll must return to Aya's grave on Kanejima Island. Asai insists on accompanying him. Hiku drives them toward Niigata, following an occult investigator's advice. Along the road, they review footage of the island. It is supposedly haunted, but the video reveals more questions than answers. The 5 investigators appear in one frame, but an extra figure is visible. Who filmed it? They reach Niigata, renting a hotel. A map of the island guides Kanda to track Taiko's grave for the ritual. As they perform the search, Aya's spirit, still trapped inside the doll, manifests violently. They struggle to contain it with a ritual cloth. During the process, Kanda is severely injured. The next day, Asai and Hiku continue without him. He leaves them a metal detector to aid in locating the grave. Setting a 2-hour timer, they reach the approximate location marked by a dilapidated torii gate. They dig, hearts racing. When the lid is removed, the truth stuns them. Taiko's body remains, but the doll is gone. Only 30 minutes remain. They cannot waste a second. The doll must return to Taiko, the lid closed, the ritual completed. Asai descends to the grave to retrieve her daughter's only photograph, a simple frame that had fallen inside. But carelessness turns deadly. Burning incense ignites the ritual cloth binding Aya's spirit. Inside, Aya struggles. She cannot escape. Every attempt is blocked. Finally, as they close the lid, her hair catches on shards of the broken photo frame. With the glass cutting away the remaining strands, Aya frees herself, just enough to settle, calm, and rest. At last, the family sits together, Asai, Hiku, Naomi, and memories of May. Aya's returned to her mother's side, peace. Naomi embraces her mother on the way home, innocent and untroubled. But Hiku hears a noise from the next room. Slowly, pressure builds on Asai's neck. Something tightens, constricting. Inside the washing machine, a scream rises, her daughter trapped, desperate. Asai looks in the mirror and freezes. It is not Naomi, it is Aya. Hiku shatters the machine lid, rescuing the child. Asai realizes the horrifying truth. Aya has been manipulating them, weaving illusions to trap them in the grave forever. Only May's spirit intervenes, guiding them free. Aya was never truly evil. From the moment Asai treated her like a child, Aya had sensed a mother's love, a mother she had never known. Holding Aya's hand, they escape the grave. They return safely from the island. Life seems to resume its fragile normality. Time passes. The family cherishes little Naomi. They venture outside, laughter echoing, the past momentarily forgotten. But a shadow lingers. Kanda uncovers startling news about Yasumoto. He visits Toshiko, urgency in his eyes. The food on the table has rotted inexplicably. His chest tightens, the baby monitor flickers. Naomi speaks, not Naomi. Aya, a cruel revelation hits like ice. They had always known only half the truth. Taiko, Aya's mother, had hated her from birth. Abuse and neglect shaped Aya's hatred. Asai's love had been a beacon and a target. Aya's true plan had been revenge. Naomi had only been a pawn. The greatest mistake of all, returning Aya to the grave. And the final horrifying truth, Hiku and Asai are still trapped in the illusion. The child they thought was Naomi, the one they now bring outside, is not their daughter at all. It is Aya. She smiles perfectly like Naomi, but the shadow in her eyes promises the nightmare has only just begun.